What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Leveled Up Life podcast. It's Brandon Courtney back in the studio with Paul McLean,
my man,
Mr. East to West Coast before lunchtime. Let's go, bro. You've been getting after it, dude.
Hey, nonstop, dude.
Let's go, man. Building a massive business, building a family, and man, creating value for all kinds of people. And man, that's our heart. That's our desire to help you level up in the areas of your life that matter most, whether it's your faith, your family, your fitness, your finance, or your franchise. Man, I want to talk about today. Man, there's so many people that are building. There's so many people that are, in business or starting a business or just aspire to grow something. But what I'm seeing on my end, and I'm sure you see this because you travel the country and talk to all kinds of different leaders, is burnout.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us are building things, but like, man, we're kind of burnt out. And I think the whole premise of this podcast is to build the thing that you feel called to build, whether it's simply a family, whether it's a business, whether it's a church, whether it's, some sort of organization, but not building it just to have like the fruit that comes with it, because like business is one thing, but if your marriage is falling apart, it's like all for nothing, right? Yeah. If your kids don't like you, it's all for nothing. And so our heart, even starting this podcast, was like how to have a life where every part of your life is thriving. And so that's what I want to talk about today, kind of this burnout mentality where people are like, man, dude, show up to the office 4 a.m., leave at, midnight, and then burn the midnight oil. And that's great for a season. I get it. But really how to build a foundation behind it is kind of what we want to talk about. So yeah. What do you see like traveling the country? Like, is this something that you're seeing as well? Like this burnout mentality, like this grind mentality, and like, I don't know, talk about it, like just from your perspective.
Think about this, like, so when you tell somebody like a story about moving to the country,
yeah,
right? Like you've got like your own little farm and you're just hanging out. Most people are like, oh my God, it sounds so great, dude. It's kind of like, how do you know if you're really thirsty? Like when somebody says water, you're like, oh my God, like, I need some water.
Yeah.
And so like, I think nowadays, even more so than ever before, like when you get that picture painted of just like a simple life, where it's just like seems so simple,
right.
It seems like something that's so like prized, like
right.
you would want that. And I think it's because we're so busy moving around, just the thought of having simplicity
that's good.
Is a big win. And so I think it's definitely, prominent now. And I think that even, I feel like God's got his hand on the podcast and got his hand on, what we're doing here. And obviously we've been obedient from the call to get in and start talking about this leveled up life concept. Yeah. This is like now going on year 3, right? We just wrapped up 100
episodes. Been that long?
Yeah, so it's been over crazy. 2 years. And the thought was like, hey, we want to make sure everybody's growing in every area of the life that does matter most. And there's like anything, if there's a blessing, there's a curse.
Yep.
A blessing could become a snare, right? And so when you look at today's society, bro, like I think for myself, I find myself like trying to optimize everything.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, like how do I optimize my business, optimize my organization, my team? How do I systematize things? How does my family, like how do I get better as a spouse? How to get better? So I'm taking down all this information, and a lot of times what that does is prevents me from doing the thing that really makes the biggest difference, which is just being present, purposeful, serving people, loving people, and having times delegated where I could say, I'm going to work on my life for this hour or two, or work on my business for this hour or two, and I pause. I wonder if there's people under like I am, where it's like throughout the day you're kind of just like gathering information unintentionally. Yeah. And so you're actually not being purposeful, you're not being present, and so you're kind of getting exhausted because you're just running around without that hyper intention just to serve the moment. Does that make sense?
No, 100%. I think, like we were just talking about prior to the podcast, just like we're in information overload. Like information is just everywhere. Like we're constantly being hit with dopamine. Like we've trained our mind to like need the next bit of like information or highlight reel or news or the next bump, right? Whatever's gonna like make us feel better in that moment. And so it's this constant go. And I think you said it right. It's like sometimes we just miss the moments that we're actually supposed to be in because we're always thinking about the next thing. And I think for me, that's what we're trying to avoid, because you can become so busy building this dream life that you forget to live life. Like the whole point of working hard is to, have the things from that job to give you the life that you desire, which is time with your family, like making an impact in the community. But we're so busy trying to get there that we forget to actually live that life, right? And so,
dude, how do you see comparison nowadays? So, like, I was thinking about this, like nowadays, like you have the whole world to compare to. Like back in the day, like, years and years ago, like most of the comparison was done with those around you. Like we have two kids similar age. Like I have, Penelope and then Blaze, like within like a month of each other. And I remember when Blaze started walking way before Penelope.
Yeah.
And then Blaze like had a 6-pack when he was like 13 months old, and so I'm looking at Penelope.
Like, what's wrong with my kid?
Yeah, like, is she okay? Like, do we need to go get her tested? Like, what's going on, right? And that comparison, right? And that could be with everything. It could be in marriage. It could be in your fitness. For sure. It could be in your finances, and like how that comparison really does steal the joy, because then you start chasing through comparison, really not out of like purpose, but out of insecurity.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got to go do X, Y, Z because look at how far they are. Like, have you seen that play a bigger role as far as the how comparison is now like an epidemic, given the fact that everybody gets on and you're going to feel inadequate as an entrepreneur?
100%.
I know for myself, like sometimes I'll get on and somebody's on there talking about the new Claude features, like, Claude just redid all this in 7 steps, and I'm thinking I don't want to miss out on like what Claude just did, because like I can implement that in my business, and then I can get towards my goals and quicker. So then I find myself like, let me figure this out, and then I'm just like overwhelmed, and then I'm exhausted, dude. Because like now my mind's spinning. Opposed to like, what was I supposed to be doing right now? 100%.
I think there's always seasons of comparison, like, because you never get away from it, right? Because you're right. You have access to everyone and everything at all times, and so I think you got to be so rooted and grounded in like who you are, because if not, the comparison, it's a trap, and before you know it, you're trying to live someone else's life, and you're not called to do that. Like, I'll give you a quick example, how easy it is to get caught in it, right? So, like this, just Easter, like a month ago, it's like we had our biggest turnout ever at Easter, and I'm thinking like, I go home Sunday night, I'm like, this is amazing. It reached all these people, biggest Sunday ever. And I'm feeling good about like the number. Cause like you dream about stuff like this. Like you pray about it, you plan for it. And then when you see it come to pass, it's like, wow, look at what the Lord did. And then you can scroll on social media and you go, oh, never mind. I thought we were significant. This church, this organization had 10 times the amount, right? And it's so easily, if you're not careful, to just be like, oh, well, I guess the Lord's not really moving, and I guess I'm not that good, and I guess we're not making that much of an impact because look at what these people are doing. And so it's a trap, certainly, and that's church. Like that's the one place you would be like, oh, there ain't no comparison there. Like these are God-fearing Christians, but we all got a flesh, and so certainly even all the more in business, you could think you're crushing it, and then you go get on a call and you're like, oh, well, this person just exited the business for 10x multiple. I've actually done nothing with my life, right? And so I think it all comes down to like, number one, knowing who you are, knowing what season of life you're in, because you're comparing your season 2 with someone else's season 10, and you're thinking you're so far behind when you're actually right where you need to be. Because looking back, I think you could speak to this very well. Is like, man, every season of life is a setup for the next season if you see it the right way. Yeah. And so like you don't get to level 10 without going through 1 through 9. But so many of us, because we can see level 10 every day, we think like, I'm so far behind, but you're actually not. And the truth is, like, in comparison to so many people, like you're actually doing very well, right? Or comparison to your past self. Like I look back over my life and I'm like, man, I didn't know what the future had for me, but like I certainly didn't see this coming. And like, man, where I could have been, like the decisions I could have made, like, man, look how far I've actually come, as opposed to comparing, like my future to someone else's future. Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude, perfect.
I don't know. Talked about from a business standpoint, like kind of what you see in the business. Like, is it a snare? Is it a trap? Or are people using it as motivation, as encouragement? Because that's kind of like what the hope is. Like you see someone else is like, oh man, maybe I can be that too. Maybe I can have that too. Maybe I can have that impact too. So it's like you said something a couple months back about like an eye bump. We won't say what it's for, but like a quick eye bump. Yeah. Like when you see something you're not supposed to see, like you just bump your eyes away from it and refocus on what you're supposed to. So like in business, like you can easily fall in that trap. But if you just have a quick eye bump back to like, no, this is my assignment, or a heart check or whatever it is. Like, do you see that kind of like in the business world?
Yeah, 100%. I think, if to get kind of practical, one of the things that has helped me, because we all fall into this, right? Like you might be somebody that doesn't have jealousy or envy or insecurity be what's produced when you're actually looking at somebody else right now, but next week that can change.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just know for myself, there's been seasons where I feel like I can feel that more than other seasons. And one thing that practically has helped me with that is like celebrating others that have success, like intentionally like celebrating and being like even verbalizing it, giving them applause, like that's such a effective way to hedge against like jealousy or envy. So if you see somebody that's got like a great marriage, even if it's like artificial, right? Like maybe it's not even true.
Yeah.
By the way, if it's on Instagram, it's probably not nearly what you think it is. Yeah. But just like celebrating that, because like you typically will propagate what you celebrate. Like it'll grow, it'll expand if you're celebrating it. And so I feel like that's such an easy like hack to have that hedges against that, is like celebrating other successes, celebrating when it's like dude, you've gone through a great transformation physically. Like, dude, you look phenomenal. I told you that a couple weeks ago. Like I celebrate that because I don't want to feel insecure. Like I've been working for all these years and like brand's looking better than I am now, right? Like, so I intentionally like celebrate that because I don't want to be caught in that. Like, and it's the same thing with finances. It's the same thing with marriage. It's the same thing with anything, right? And so I think celebrating is important. But then I think you got to ask yourself, like, when you're on social media and you're consuming AI and all these things, like, does it breed insecurity? And I think that by default, that's probably what's produced.
Yeah.
And then your response is probably chasing the thing that you believe is going to fill the insecurity, which is actually getting better in that. And so now you're moving by insecurity, not by the purpose that God has got for you specifically. And the reality is it's probably not true anyways. Like what you think isn't anyways. And so it becomes like almost this great lie. And I feel like, we know scripturally, like, the enemy, the devil, he's a father of all lies. Yeah. Like he came to kill, steal, and destroy. Like he's the master craftsman with distortion. And so I just think like it can easily be used as that. And so, I think that celebration's a big deal. And then what I've been saying when people ask me, like, dude, how's it going? Like one thing that I've intentionally been saying, because dude, I've seen myself like becoming overwhelmed with social media and getting on just seeing AI. Like it's been exhausting for me, honestly. I've just been saying, dude, I'm just running my race. How's it going, dude? Doing unbelievable, running my race.
That's good.
And it's just a reminder to me that I'm running my race. Like I'm not running your race. Yeah. I'm going to celebrate your race, but I don't want to be pulled into thinking that I've got to do better with the race I'm not even called to run. Yeah. And so that's been like my new thing when somebody's like, how's it going? Dude, unbelievable. I'm just running my race. Yeah. And it's just a reminder, like, dude, even in this conversation, I don't want to get pulled off of the race I'm running thinking that I need to run your race.
So good.
And that's just helped me a little bit.
Well, I think that's the whole like culture that we live in right now is with all this information and certainly AI, you can begin to think that everything is for you, or the next trend or the next wave or the next idea like you have to do, or you're going to miss something. And then most people are chasing something that they were never called to, and they get there and they're carrying a weight that they're not supposed to carry because they were never assigned to be there. So now the thing that they built or stepped into, like it's all on them. Like you were never supposed to be there, right? And that's so good. What a practical way to just remind yourself, like, no, you have a purpose and you have an assignment. Like, let me just run my race, because I think, and we've walked through seasons of this, like, even personally, where we're looking at our business and we're looking at like what's going on, and we feel like we got to keep up. Yeah. Like we had Daniel Kim in here like, what is that, a month ago? Yeah. And we're like, dude, we gotta become AI experts. Like, what are we doing? We're missing the boat. Like we're using AI like it's Google still, right? Yeah. And like we're so far behind. And dude, honestly, like I went home like that week and I'm like, dude, building like Claude Code and like just trying to implement all these 100 million different things. And I'm like, let me just go back to like the basics, right? And I think there's you need wisdom for like what's for you and what's not, and then you need discernment to know, like, man, is this from the Lord, or am I just being ambitious in a bad way because I have an insecurity that I'm not keeping up with everyone else around me? And am I trying to feel some like void in me, trying to prove something to someone, or am I simply just like running my race that I'm called to run? Because that's the most peace you'll have, is when you'll know, like, hey, I might not be where everyone else is at, but like I know where I'm supposed to be at, and there's no amount of money or no amount of notoriety that can give you that peace, because it doesn't come from stuff. It comes from like being present in the moment, right? And so I love that. Super practical.
Well, look at this, dude. So there's kind of a list of exhausted achievers. So think about these things, right? Dopamine addiction is one, like being addicted to dopamine, and like that's such a thing. And we got a chance to talk to Chuck Bomar. We should actually get him on a podcast again. He just came out with a new book called Pivot Now. And a big thing that he was speaking to was this echo chamber, right? Like we're all getting fed what we want to consume because, social media and all AI, all that stuff, they get paid based off of your attention. Like, can we get your focus, your attention? So they're not focused on giving you truth or helping you. They're just focused on giving you what feeds you, right? Yep. And what feeds you is what produces dopamine, right? Like you want to go eat what makes you feel good. And so dopamine addiction is a big deal. And even like, not to go down a rabbit hole, but like even like the nicotine, like pouches, like that's like so much dopamine so frequently, and it's so easy to do. You don't realize that it's drowning out dopamine, which actually makes you feel exhausted, because if you're on dopamine overload, like you're going to feel bogged down, right? Constant stimulation, comparison culture, hustle identity, fake significance through social media. I think this is a big one, because like, now you're on social media just trying to portray something, and if you're always just chasing something that you're trying to portray, like the significance is who are you sewing into, right? And I think that it's easy, and I've seen this, man, like it's all about how I feel and how I'm being perceived, or how people look at me. Yeah. And even in conversations, asking yourself, like, is it now more kind of like slided towards what feeds you or how you feed others? And that's where significance is. And I think like that's easily to be, like, I know for myself, when I'm giving with an intention to just value that individual. And there's times when I am and times when I'm not, dude. Where if I'm not thinking about it, that's the time I'm not. Like I have to go in intentionally thinking like, dude, how can I take the eyes off me? For sure. Because it's so easy to have the eyes focused on you through social media. Now, like, you have to intentionally work harder to actually put your eyes on somebody else, because it's just being put on you all day. But the significance comes from like, how do I serve you? Like, how do I value you? How do I give you value? That's where significance produces energy. Does that make sense? Like 100%. Success can bog you down, but significance never will. That's so good. Significance is like just pouring into people what you're called to pour into them. So I think that's a big one. And then leaders feeling pressure to always appear up, which I think is really saying like you're never really failing or struggling. Do you see that nowadays too? Like people having a hard time like being like open about their struggles, and almost this inclination to always make it seem like they're winning. You know what I mean?
100%. I think you hit the nail on the head as far as like fake significance and fake like success, because it's easy to produce. And I think when you lead from that place, it becomes all about you as opposed to serving other people. So I always like there's this, for me anyways, there's like this tension with social media, because like, man, you have your real life and like people that you're actually making an impact in and serving and blessing, and there's fruit that you can see in real life. But then there's like this online version of you that like, and we've both kind of been bad at like portraying like social media significance, because like, man, we're producing in real life, right? So it's like a tension we've talked about, because you could be making a massive impact to people online or watching from a distance as well. But I think so many people almost go the opposite way first, as opposed to making impact in real life and then portraying the content as just like hey, let me bless more people. They go the opposite, and they go, let me portray something that I'm actually not, and show success, and hopefully people see me as success, so then I can maybe get real success. Like, and it's just like this weird world that we live in, right? And I think it gives, like, what did you say? Success bogs you down, but significance gives you energy. Like, dude, you gotta trademark that. Like, it's so real. Like when you're making a real life impact, man, it's not weighty, it's not heavy, because you're like, man, this is what I'm made to do. But like, so many people are carrying this online persona that they can never fail, they can never mess up, they can never have a bad day. And I talked about this a couple weeks ago at church. Like, when you carry that identity, you can't become anything else, because the moment you ask for help, the moment you fail, the moment you slip up, the moment you can't carry the weight, your whole identity crashes. And now people view you in a whole other way, because you were never being the authentic version of who you were supposed to be. So I think what's so attractive nowadays is not a perfect image of someone, but a real authentic man or woman walking through life, knowing like, man, we're just trying to be the best version of ourselves and live out the purpose that we're assigned to live, right?
Yeah, dude. The crazy, as you're saying this, man, I'm thinking about, like, in my opinion from, I guess, like, being a person that attends God's house and kind of looking through the eyes of like me sitting in a seat, being a part of that family and how it's being led. And I think this has always been a thing. Like, if you look at how the church has pushed people away from God, it's this like perfection.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we've got it all figured out, and if you don't, like you got something wrong.
Yeah.
Like, do you need to pray more, or you need to read your word more?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm just a human being. Going through a really dysfunctional, life that I got to live, and a lot of stuff to deal with. And so I think that's always pushed people away, because they think like, oh, now I feel like kind of almost judged because like they've got it all together, and I'm way far off having it all together. And I feel like, it's been a thing that you and Mariah both navigated really well, which is this, like, we're not going to pretend to be perfect, because we're not. And like just this vulnerability and openness to be like, I'm a real human being. Although I'm called to be a pastor, I still deal with what you deal with because I'm a human being.
Yeah.
And I think that's just such an attractive thing, is like when everything becomes more and more artificial. We've said this a couple of times, like, authenticity shines bright when artificial is what's so prominent. So I just think that's important, is like showing failures. And nowadays, like, everybody's just trying to be perceived as being perfect almost.
Yeah, for sure.
That's probably what it is. Like how do I seem more perfect with my marriage, with my life? And it's like, that doesn't impact anybody, and it's weighty. Like, talking about failures, that impacts others, and it connects as well. And one of the things that, because I used to always, with the kids, I'd say, like, what did you learn and what did you love? And learn is kind of like tying to like a lesson, right? And so I just shifted like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, what did you fail at? Like, what did you fail today? And at first, I asked Penelope, and she's like, I don't know.
Right.
I was like, what did you fail at? And she like didn't understand, like, Dad, I don't fail. I'm a winner. Like, our affirmations are not like, I failed today.
Right.
And finally, she's like, on our run that we had, she's like, I was telling myself I can't do this, because there was a point where she got super negative on the run. We're going uphill. And she's like, that's what I felt, that I should not have said those words.
Right.
But it's just letting her, like, I want to get them used to being okay with failure, because failure is the greatest teacher when it's reflected upon. And so
definitely,
I think that's
very good.
Culturally, it's definitely a thing, I think.
Yeah, I love it. And that's what people are seeking, is just like real authenticity. And just like one leadership tip, certainly if you have like an audience or you're leading a team, like you don't, this is at least my perspective on it, like, you're not necessarily leading people through things you're currently bleeding from, but you're leading them from things you've bled and you've already have a scar to show it.
Yeah.
Right. So like, what you don't want to do is get up in front of someone or leave like, guys, my marriage is falling apart. Just trying to be authentic here. Like,
it's like the person that's drinking still trying to teach you how to stop drinking.
Exactly. Yeah. But like, that's what a lot of people like call authenticity. It's like, well, dude, maybe that was a little too real. Like, maybe you should get some therapy. But like, you lead from places where you have experience through and you've came out the other side. And so just for someone who's like, yeah, I got to get real and just like put it all out there.
I'm saying, like, even like when you get on and you're like, hey, me and Mariah had an argument the other day. It's like, because, dude, the reality is, as stupid as it sounds, dude, people will be like, they never have an argument.
For sure.
And therefore, because I have an argument, I'm insufficient, not good enough, and God ain't moving in my life. And you just de-pedestal yourself. 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, the intentionality behind, like, hey, my kids last night were punching each other in the face. Like, it's like, oh, like, so my kids are actually, they have hope now. Right. So like, you kind of like intentionally go through, and I believe like blow up a lot of these things, whether that's comparison, right? Like insecurity, all those things, because like it's been something that I don't know if it's intentional or not, but like it's definitely seen. All right, so a couple solutions. Let's talk about some solutions that will help, really equip each person and empower them not to be the person that is bogged down, because there's a good to everything, right? I remember I heard this from I think maybe it was Stephen Furtick. He was talking about how social media, it's got the ability to like steal your joy and do so much harm, but also gives you now a platform to get the word of God out to all these people, right? And he was even talking about COVID, like it was an empty church, but they had more people seeing and hearing the word of God than ever before that morning because of it. So there's always something, right? You just got to see it the right way. But some things that are beneficial is prayer, gratitude, rest with intention, boundaries, family leadership. I know we're running out of time, but maybe pick one brand that you think would be good to dive deep in. Family leadership, community, identity in Christ, learning to be present, building people, not just businesses. So these are some of the things that really kind of help replenish and keep you from being that successful person that is exhausted and depleted.
I mean, all of them are great, right? So two things that got to me. Number one, gratitude. I'll let you hit that one because that's. I think every person who's carrying a lot of weight and who has vision for the future can sometimes get bogged down by like the next thing and always thinking so far ahead that it sometimes stops you from being thankful and grateful for the thing you're currently holding on to. So number one, gratitude. But number two, for me, one thing that really helps me not get bogged down for the next thing or feel overwhelmed is boundaries. Like I've been very intentional, like as I've progressed in leadership, of building healthy boundaries with people and healthy boundaries with things, because like I think there's a part of me that's like a people pleaser, like maybe like my natural like default self is just to like please people. And I've recognized that. And so for me, I got to build boundaries, because I'll say yes to people like, oh, you want to go to lunch? Internally, I'm like, not really. But like, I'll be like, yeah, for sure. And then next thing you know, I got to go tell my wife and kids, like, hey, by the way, we're going to lunch. And none of us want to be there. And it's not a bad thing, but like, I don't have the energy. And so I'm at lunch. This is an example. I'm at lunch with someone and I'm present, I'm purposeful there. And it's a good thing that's taking place, but internally I'm exhausted, right? And so I've had to learn how to create boundaries, not with everything, but with certain things, because I have to recognize where and when I'm depleted and where I'm being filled up, right? And so when a lot of things require
how do you do that, dude? Because like I'm interested, because I think that for when you are, Imra, I think is also really good at that as well. And I think that is definitely probably one of the most important things when you're in a position of leadership. And there's a lot of people watching this podcast that they have a lot of possible demands because of their position.
Certainly.
How do you set boundaries the right way?
I don't know. Maybe I need to put a framework to it. But for me, it's just like I recognize that for every yes to something, I'm saying no to something else, right? So for every yes I say to someone, and this is just my world, because I get asked to go to like meet with people all the time, or go to dinners or go to lunches, because that's like the church space. But I recognize if I say yes, then I'm saying no to my kids being like at home. And so I just had to go, okay, what's important to me? What do I value in this season of life? Like where's my time best spent? And like creating a hard line. So it's like, no, I can't go to lunch, but I'll have breakfast with you on Tuesday. Like I'll have coffee with you. I'll hop on a phone call with you. No, I can't do a Zoom for an hour, but like shoot me a quick call. We could talk for 5 minutes, And so I think just kind of identifying in what season of life you're in and what season your business is in or your organization is in, and where your time is best spent. And like, again, not trying to like be all things to all people or get ahead of myself. Like, man, if I don't go meet with that person, then what if they don't give, or what if I don't have the connection or the opportunity, or I miss out on something? Like, you got to be okay with not, because like, that's just not where I'm at right now. So I don't know if that really helps, but like, it's just knowing like every yes to something is a no to something else.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it helps me. I need to get some therapy, I think.
Yeah. And also just not like I don't, there's not anything in me that has to please them. Like I'm trying to please, like, number one, I'm trying to please the Lord. I'm trying to please my family. Like this is like my first ministry. Like if they're not healthy, like forget everything else. Like if my marriage is not good, like forget your marriage. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like I got to figure this out. So it's no to you for the moment and yes to my wife, right? Or it's no to your kids and your situation and yes to mine, because like if I can't breathe on the plane, then how am I going to help anyone else?
Yeah.
That makes sense. So I don't know. That's kind of just the way I see it right now.
I think you see it the right way, dude. And I think that there's a lot of people that deal with that. I know I do, which is like, the thought of saying no. And I think where I go to is like letting them down. And actually it's probably more like an ego thing. Cause like, it's the thought of like, how are they going to perceive me as not a person that's just like goes out of their way to serve them?
Yeah.
Maybe they start to see me as somebody that's not like they see me the wrong way other than the way I want myself to be seen.
Yeah, I want them to see me as a solution, and if I don't give them the solution, then they're going to view me not as that, and I feel.
Yeah, it's kind of like if I want to be seen as like somebody that like does whatever it takes, no matter what, to serve somebody, or that just goes the extra mile.
Yeah.
If I don't do that, they can perceive me as somebody other than how I actually want to be perceived, which is an ego issue, I think.
For sure.
So, well, this was good therapy for me.
Yeah.
I kind of concluded.
I mean, there's more on that. Like, but again, I don't know if my way is the right way. This is just kind of like what works for me.
I think it's the right way, dude.
It's like, but it's super practical. So like for me, just a quick example of like boundaries that I've set for myself. It's like I don't really answer phone calls after 8. Like if you're calling me after 8, you better be like my family, because like why didn't you call me all day? Or if you really need to talk, then you'll text me and say what you're calling me for. But again, like other people would be like, dude, you're missing opportunity, or like you don't really care that much, or it's like, okay, maybe, but like this is just where works for me, sort of thing. Or like I got a text last night like 9:30, just someone asked me a question on my staff. I didn't answer them. I'm like, I answer tomorrow morning after 8, because like I don't want to think about that right now.
Yeah, and you're teaching them how to treat you too.
Yeah,
which ultimately like you can build a prison by saying yes in the wrong time.
For sure,
because now they just continue to go back
100%. But anyways,
that's good, dude. That's good.
What about you?
Well, I mean, I think for one, I think gratitude, you know, is 100% the thing that's done it for me, dude. With everything, like even like being in a season where, like, I start to fall into maybe being like complaining, or like, man, I got all this to do, I got all this to accomplish. It's like, dude, I was praying about that same season a while back, and so I think gratitude hedges against that as well. You know, even in a storm, in a season where you feel like there's no way you get through it, I feel like gratitude shifts the way you see it. And I think how you view something is how you do something. And so if I view something differently, then I can find the good in it. You know, like I think it just changes everything, where it's like, this happened to me, no, to this happened for me.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately that's probably to me one of the greatest separators between the leveled up life and the not leveled up life is the life where everything is working for your next level, right? Like everything, if it's good, great, glory to God. And I'm going to continue to move forward, and I'm going to continue to steward well, and I'm going to continue to believe that we're going to go from glory to glory. If it's going bad, then God's doing something in this, whether that's a character refinement, me moving into a different environment or place or space, but there's something good in it. And I think like the gratitude is a foundation to do that. You know, gratitude is a strategy. It's not a feeling. And so I think too many people are chasing the feeling of gratitude, and they miss the fact that it's a strategy that you have to attract it in advance by being intentionally grateful for what you have in the present. And so I think gratitude is definitely the right strategy to help replenish you, keep you on point. And I think it also prioritizes stuff, dude, because usually the things you're grateful for are the priorities in your life.
Yeah.
So it's like, it reminds you of like, okay, God, my kids are my priority.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for my kids. And it's like, well, what could I do to spend more time and have better moments and experiences and lessons with my kids? Well, maybe I need to say no to these certain situations to be able to attract more of the thing that I'm grateful for now, right? And so I think gratitude's a big deal. Let's wrap it up with this. Step 5, AI, speed, in the future of leadership. This is the thing. AI, and I've been talking to a lot of people about this. Like,
let's go deep on AI, bro. Let's get weird.
This is my thought. Right? So this is what I'll say. I think for one, like homeschooling your kids would be my advice. If you say, Paul, should I homeschool kids? The answer is, before it was a yes. Now to me, it's like an absolute yes.
Yeah.
Like they're going to school for something they're not going to be going to school, and it's going to be completely irrelevant in the next like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
There's no question. And so with AI, I think the benefit of it, dude, is like it helps provide the information that you'd have to go try to attain. It's already readily available. And I think then it's like, well, what matters most? I think it's like leadership abilities and skills. I think it's like emotional IQ and being able to connect with others. I think that becomes the most important thing, which it was always the most important thing, if you think about it, right? But if you had that and you didn't have the ability to strategically build a business or have the information or what have you to do it, it wouldn't be really magnified. Now, those qualities and characteristics allow you to really become to separate yourself from the pack, so to speak. And so, I didn't tell you this yet, but I'll tell you now. Like I'm going to use AI to put together like a leadership protocol and in like, emotional IQ protocol, and I'm gonna have my kids start to study that, opposed to just like studying like who the 17th president of the United States was. It's like, why would you ever need to know that, dude? Like, you could ask, and get the answer right away. And so I just think that, like, if the kids can read and they can write and do simple math, like, they're good. Let's teach them the stuff that really matters.
I agree, bro. I'm right there. I think it's AI is put there to replace like low level thinking, like at least where it's at right now. It's like, hey, that wisdom's in you, but why spend the next month and a half trying to put together a program? You could do it. It would just take more time, as opposed to throwing it in there, prompting it the right way, and it spits out something like that. So, like, for me, it's a tool right now that's helping me already lead in my capacity and just making me more efficient, not necessarily the thing that I'm leaning on to think for myself. And I think that's kind of where the tension's at, and kind of where, but we're only in the beginning of it. Like, it's the wild, wild west right now. Yeah. And so, I mean, you were talking about a documentary you watch, like, who knows where it's going to go in the future. But I mean, again, the most important thing, like you said, is like emotional intelligence, like how to connect with people, how to serve people, how to have like intelligent conversations, how to read a room, how to communicate, how to shake a hand. Like, these are things that we're being intentional with our kids and those we're leading. Like, because you're right, information is becoming a commodity. Everyone's gonna have the same information, access to it all. So, like, how do you actually apply the information to real life is gonna be the thing that sets you apart. So,
dude, we'll end with this. This is something I looked up right before I got in here, because, like, I think most people are going to AI to enhance their life, right?
Yeah.
Or, like, social media as well. Like, should I be eating more greens? Like, should I put my face in ice in the morning, or should I do the sauna, or should I, like, all those kind of things. And by the way, like, I'm one of those.
Trying it all,
right?
yeah.
But I thought this was really applicable. It's 1 Timothy 4:8. It says, it explains that while physical training has limited temporary value, training for godliness, spiritual training, is profitable for both the present life and the life to come.
That's right.
And there was this interview I watched by I think it was Dr. Josh Axe and Ed Milet, and he said, and Dr. Josh Axe is like, he wrote the Biblio diet. Like, he's really, a doctor with like natural, remedies, modalities, stuff like that. He said, what would be the question that you would ask Jesus related to your health? And he kind of sat there for like, dude, at least like 2 minutes. It was just like, I've never had that question asked to me. He's like, well, for one, I'd probably ask him a ton of questions that weren't health related before I got to the health related question. But he said, I'd ask, like, what does it really matter? Like, what does it all matter? Like, and he quoted this scripture of like, physical training, like, that's worth some value. But we're so focused nowadays on what's really of some value that we might be missing the thing that's of main value which is godliness, like spiritual training. And so, anyways, I thought it's an applicable scripture and a timely word for, I think, the season that we're in today. So, well, this was good, man. This was good for me. I think I had like a therapy session in multiple ways that I'm thinking, and I'm going to hop off and put together some thoughts on it. So, guys, we love you. I hope this served you well. If it did, share this with somebody else that I might serve also. But, hey, make it a big week. We love you. Stay strong. Be steadfast. God bless you guys.